This is the Niwalker N50T V2. I purchased this light with my own money because I am very excited to review it, and maybe once you hear some of the specs you'll understand why. So this light is powered by a 5,000 milliamp hour 21700 battery, and it claims 2,300 lumens. It also claims 796 meters of throw, 158,000 plus candela. I'll tell you what, that is what drew me in. Just those stats alone, I was like, wow, that's insane. And then the price tag next to it was $20. $20 is a ridiculously cheap amount of money for a light that has all of those capabilities, if that is true. So I went ahead and just bought it, pretty much based on that. But moving on, it also has a low mode, so it has a high, which you press, and if you double press it, it goes between its high mode and its low mode. And there's a strobe mode as well that you can get to. But you have the high mode and low mode, and you'll see it just goes up and down and up and down, and wherever you release is what it's going to stay on. So now it's going to stay on that low mode, and if I double tap and go back up to the high, now it's going to stay on the high if I click it. So that low mode is claiming 230 lumens is what it says. I think it might be more, but this thing has so much candela, sometimes it's hard to tell what the lumens are. Again, I wish I had a lumen tester to find that out. But with this light also comes a little ring up here that you can charge USB-C. Fantastic. It has fast charging capability. So I charge this thing 2 amps, I believe. I'll show my charging info right here. But it was charging at 2 amps for quite a while, and it didn't take too long to charge a big 21700 battery like that, so I am pretty pleased with that. It does have a pocket clip on the side, and it is usable. It's just not super practical, I would say. Hilariously, it has a reverse clip, so like, watch, I could try and put it on my hat, but that's ridiculously heavy, and there's literally no point, and no one would do that, but I suppose it's there. You can just take the pocket clip off by spinning off the tail cap and taking that out and then screwing it back on, so no worries there. But you do have these weird lanyard hole things here. So I looked them up just to make sure I knew what they were, because I've seen them on some tactical flashlights before. Some of them have like full rings on them, and that's more for holding it like this. You can do like pistol shooting stuff with it that way. But with these ones, they're not really practical for that, and they're just kind of in the way, and they feel a little weird if you hold it wrong. So you kind of have to hold it, like if I hold it like this and I put them in between my fingers, I don't feel it very much, and the pocket clip sits in that piece in my hand, and it's not that bad. But if you hold it the wrong way, it's kind of uncomfortable. So there's one con to it. But some other pluses to this guy: it has double sprung battery connectors inside. So you've got a spring on this side and a spring on this side, which is a really big thing to see in a flashlight. I love to see that. That helps with durability, especially when dropped, and helps you keep those connections nice and tight. So it obviously has momentary on it, which is huge for any tactical flashlight guys out there. You want momentary. Crazy deep dish on the front here. It is rocking an SFT40 emitter on there, and that is 6500K color temperature. Pretty classic if you want a really long thrower. Don't know what that was. Pretty classic if you want a really long thrower. But let's get into the nighttime display for this. Go outside. You can check it out for yourself. It did kind of blow me away. That beam pattern is pretty awesome. So let's check that out, and then we'll get right into all of our tests. Okay, moment of truth. Niwalker 50T. Let's see it. This is the lower of the two modes. Oh my goodness. 100 meters, hello. That's that one I'm touching there. 200 meters, I'm already getting with this low mode. And this is supposed to be significantly lower. But lots of rings in this, but I don't really care for $20. And not a huge wide beam, but I do light up pretty much if I'm throwing straight down the street. I am going to light this whole street up, which is really nice. So let's go into the high mode, and it's very finicky to get it in that high mode. I have to come out of it, and now I should be on it. And oh my gosh, those 220, 230 meter trees, I don't know that I've ever seen it lit up like that so much with such a wide beam. I gotta imagine this thing's gonna get really hot, but we will see in the runtime test. I will do a heat test on this one because I want to see if it gets super hot. It's getting a little warm in my hand, but it is very cold out here, so that's kind of hard to tell. But man, it is really, really got a lot of candela, and just in a huge spot too. It is a bigger tactical flashlight, tactical style anyways, but pretty darn impressive for $20 or less. This thing's pretty sweet. I'm pretty excited. So I'm hoping that this thing survives, but let's move to the shed real fast. Okay, prepare to be blown away because this is on the high mode right now. But there we go. That's how you get it into low mode. So now I can click it. This is on low mode. It's actually not bad. I don't feel blinded necessarily. It is a lot of light in that hot spot. But then if I go into high mode, it's a lot of light. That's a ton of light, and if you were hitting a white wall, you would be pretty much blinded with this inside. But this is a tactical light for outside or outdoor use, camping. You want to go to, Yosemite and go hiking. This thing's gonna shoot a long way with that huge beam. The huge hot spot with a ton of candela coming out of this thing. I think this thing's super rad, but that's just me. You guys give me your thoughts in the comments, but that's what it looks like in the shed. See how hot this thing is. Probably real hot. Honestly, that's not that bad. I have seen worse. All right, we're gonna throw the Niwalker N50T in. It's on the low mode, and 30 minutes, here we go. All right, let's pull this out. It's still on, no problem, and I will get back to you to see if there is any water intrusion, and we'll go right to drop testing. All right, we will do the drop testing on the Niwalker. I'm going to put it on its lowest mode here, do it from waist height, head height, on its head, on its side, see if it survives. So big. Ooh, and it turned off. Back on. Uh-oh. So it appears that we have almost killed the Niwalker already. Actually, it's working okay now. See, it does still work. So we have it to where we can work it, and it can go up and down, and it will stay down low, but it just seems a little glitchy. I got it in pretty good working, but I did discover it is not the battery because I've tried other 21700 batteries in here, and this one works fine in other flashlights as well. So let's drop it off the roof, see if it even works after that. But I'm not super surprised. Heavy flashlights don't tend to survive very well. All right, the Niwalker on low, probably to its demise. See ya. Well, an extremely pleasant surprise. The Niwalker survived and is working perfectly now. So I know what you're thinking. Oh, you dropped it, the internals moved back around, and now it's working perfect. No, it was user error. I had not tightened the tail cap on completely all the way snug, and now it works totally perfect. It raises, lowers, it leaves right where you want it, and you can get to the flashing mode. So it's working totally perfectly now, which I am super, super stoked on because this passed all my tests. It is a very good looking flashlight. It has a good battery in it. It's got a cool bezel. It has the momentary, just 2 modes, pretty simple. Are there a couple of things you can nitpick, like these weird wings on it, and maybe that it should just have 1 mode or just a high and a low, and an easier way to get to it, because it is kind of an odd interface. Sure, I could say that, but it has so much good going for it, and especially if you can get this for 20 or 30 bucks, this thing is awesome. So like I said, it was $20 when I got it, but it has gone up to $30. I still highly recommend it. I would still buy it at that price, and I think it is genuinely one of the best budget tactical flashlights you can buy out there. I have no problem taking this to work and using it on patrol or something like that. I think it would work fantastic. It's got such a great beam on it, such a long throw. I can't tell you for sure if it's throwing that 796 meters, but it is throwing a heck of a lot of light, as you saw with that beam pattern. It's such a large hotspot, and it really lights those trees up. You saw the 220-meter trees were just no problem for it. It lights like the whole thing up. So, you know, suspects at long range, or if I'm looking for someone in a park or something, this thing would be awesome. Highly, highly recommend it. I'll have my link down below. You can buy it there. That helps the channel out. That would be greatly appreciated. But if not, do whatever you want. That's totally fine. I just appreciate you guys watching. And please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. That really helps me out. I'm on my journey to 1,000 subscribers, and you guys would really be helping me out if you just hit that subscribe button. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.